Welcome to December's edition of Old Town Cocktail Virtual Happy Hour.
We're standing outside the Lighthorse here on King Street. It is a cold day. Our friend Chris has made us a Cirrus Vodka cocktail called a Hot Chocolate. I'm excited to get inside and try it out. Let's head in.
Let's go.
What's up? My name is Chris. I'm the bar manager here at the Lighthorse at 715 King Street. And I'm gonna be making hot cocoa. It's super simple. I made a salted caramel vodka infusion with Cirrus Vodka. So you just take 2 ounces of that. When I make hot cocoa, I like to use like a clear old school mug so you can actually see what's going on in the glass. So just go ahead and add that 2 ounces of the salted caramel vodka to the mug. This right here is my hot cocoa mix that I made. It's infused with cayenne pepper, cocoa of course, a little bit of salt, nutmeg. So I'm just gonna add 4 tablespoons of that to the mug. All right, hot water and then stir. You want to make sure that you leave a little bit of room at the top of the glass so you can get this awesome whipped cream in here. It's actually infused with cayenne pepper as well to give it a little bit more of a kick. This is one of my favorite bar tools. It's something that you usually do not see behind a bar. It's pretty much just a protein shaker. It makes the best whipped cream, perfect consistency for whipped cream that you're actually going to be drinking rather than eating. Top it off and that's it. This is a hot cocoa with Cirrus Vodka.
All right, friends, we are sitting in here in the Lighthorse. I'm here with my good friend Chris.
What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going, man? Thanks for hanging with us today. I'm feeling great in these booths over here too. I love this. I love this setup here. So, you just made a great drink for us, but first for the people out there to get to know you.
I've been here at the Lighthorse for just over 5.5 years. Ooh. I've been in the hospitality industry for 16 years, bartending for about 14.
So you've been in the industry for a long time, like you said. You're a vet, 16 plus some years. How did that happen? How did you get into the restaurant industry?
So fresh out of high school, I needed to get a job and make some good money.
Yeah.
So I started serving tables at a restaurant.
Yep.
Great Italian restaurant in my hometown. So I would look behind the bar and just dream about being back there.
Right, when we're serving, and you're trying to make money when you're 18, right. You look at the bartender, you're like, they got it going on.
Yeah. But I was too young, so I worked at that restaurant for a while, actually.
Yep.
Took a few days off for my 21st birthday, like most people do. My first day back, I was thrown back there.
Oh, yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's such a common theme when we ask this, too. I turned 21, all of a sudden, I was just pushed right back there.
Yep.
What was it that kind of made you really want to stick with it for so long?
I consider myself like an extreme extrovert.
Okay. Yeah.
I like to be around people. I like to have a good time.
Yeah.
And this job, I can't even consider it a job because when you do something that you love, you never work a day in your life. And I just look at it like I'm throwing a party every day. I get to throw a party every day.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, dude, that's a lot to say from someone who works extremely hard and just say, hey, man, I'm just lucky to be in this position where I get to throw a party. Tell me a little bit about the Lighthorse. How long has the Lighthorse been in Old Town?
The Lighthorse, we actually just hit 12 years.
Dang.
2008. Yeah.
Nice. 12 years.
It's been a minute.
Okay, cool. So for people who aren't familiar with Lighthorse, and to be fair, I don't know if you're in Old Town, how many people who are not familiar with the Lighthorse. Right. But if you're not familiar with the Lighthorse, what can you tell us about the place?
I definitely consider us like a staple. We bring something that I feel like nobody else has. And we have a couple different offerings, as you can tell by the upstairs and the downstairs are kind of different, but kind of the same.
Yeah, so tell me about it. So first off, if you're familiar with it, there's a hilarious meme right now about Lighthorse.
I'm still trying to find out who made that. So whoever made that, please,
Yeah, whoever, you can tell us who it was, but that is a hilarious meme. But so it's a split level. So tell me we're sitting the downstairs. Tell me what the upstairs is.
So the upstairs is more of I'd say a classy dive bar.
Yeah.
Live music, shuffleboard, skee ball.
Nice.
Yeah, it's where you go to let loose.
Okay.
Responsibly, though.
Responsibly. Okay, cool. Now we're down here in the downstairs segment of Lighthorse as well. Now I know that But you just, at some point, when did this get redone down here?
So the renovation was completed about 2 years ago.
Yep.
And so down here we kind of consider this like our craft cocktail dinner bar.
Totally.
So it's definitely a different vibe down here as opposed to upstairs.
Yep.
Down here we do a little bit more focusing on craft cocktails.
Tell me about the hot chocolate. Tell me about what you got going on here.
So I was very happy that you gave me this liquor to use. I think vodka is often underrated because it's flavorless, but the cool thing about it, you can make it taste however you want it to taste. So I always think about like, what do I like?
Yeah, but of course, it's something you can stand behind. You know that you can serve it to your guests.
So I'm all about caramel. I love salted caramel. So I was trying to figure out what could go with that, and so I came up with hot cocoa.
Okay, cool. So it's based. So we have an infusion for Cirrus Vodka, right? What's in the infusion right now?
It's super simple. It's just Werther's soft caramel.
Nice.
And a couple pinches of salt.
Yep.
With
Beautiful.
the vodka.
Salted caramel is
super simple.
And then so the hot cocoa itself too, this mix that you made, what's in that mix?
Right, so I pretty much just made a powdered mix. It has actually quite a few ingredients in there, but the main ones are cocoa, powdered milk, nutmeg, of course cayenne pepper to give it a little bit of a kick.
Sure.
So yeah, just like this cocktail compared to the rest of the cocktails that we regularly have on our menu, I take a lot of time in the prep.
Yes.
So yeah, you will find me in the kitchen often in the back. Yep. Making a mess, putting stuff together. But when it comes time to make a cocktail, it's easy for me as well as the bartenders here to crank it out super quick. It is so much
behind the scenes that goes into building this thing up before it gets on the table in front of our guests. I always see that and appreciate it as well. This cocktail is looking beautiful, by the way, and it's available for purchase in-house. You guys will be serving it here for a while. If I were trying to come to the Lighthorse, enjoy cocktails, enjoy food, what are you guys doing right now, hours-wise, seating-wise? Give us a breakdown.
Yes, our hours have changed a little bit. We open up Monday through Friday at 4 p.m.
Sure.
We're closing at 10.
Yep.
Saturday and Sunday, we're opening a little bit earlier. We open up at 11 o'clock,
cool.
Also closing at 10 p.m.
Cool. If I come in here, and we're serving food and drink the whole time?
Correct.
And there's indoor service, and do you have outdoor service?
Yes, we do.
Well?
We do have an outdoor patio area.
Nice.
With heaters.
Oh, with heaters?
Yeah.
Nice. And then as far as carry out and delivery, are you guys offering those options
yes,
as well?
We're definitely doing carry out and delivery. Right now, you can find us on the interwebs at thelighthorserestaurant.com.
Nice. Well,
and there's a link. There's a link for you to order online for pickup, and then if you don't want to leave your house, you can check us out on Uber Eats.
Nice. Well, I mean, so we appreciate you being such a staple in the community as a restaurant, and then as a barkeep too, a familiar face in this community. I appreciate sitting down with you today too, because
Thanks,
it's one of the few times I was someone who's like loud and laughs like me. So
I'm not loud.
Stop! Don't lie.
Come check us out. We're still here.
All right.
Great food, great drink.
Well, again, Chris, thanks for sitting down, hanging with us today, talking cocktails.
No problem, man.
No, I really appreciate it. So, friends, come over here to the Lighthorse, see Chris, get your hands on a hot cocoa. We're gonna switch gears right now and head over to Mint Condition. Victoria, take us away.
So Mint Condition is located at 103 South St. Asaph, and Mint Collective is at 101 South St. Asaph. So we've got Starbucks across the street and Blue Mercury on our corner. Also, a few streets down on Mid-King, we have the large retailers like Anthropologie, H&M, Gap, and Banana Republic. We've got the dog park. Now on to the restaurant. Some of our favorite places are Magnolia on King for a southern fare. We also have the Pita House, which is a popular one for us to get some lunch. And then Lighthorse and King's Ransom. I hope you enjoyed my tour of Mid-King Street. Come see us at Mint Condition and support Old Town. Welcome to Mint Condition.
Well, Chris, thank you so much for that wonderful hot cocoa cocktail. That's sure to be something that people are enjoying right now, and I hope all of you, if you don't have one in hand, that you'll head over to Lighthorse and get one sometime soon, or get the cocktail and try it at home. So we have the fortune today of not one but two guests, Megan Pulaski and Katie Koslov. We're sitting here at Mint Condition, but I know that you also own a couple of other boutiques in town. And before we get into that, I'd love to know a little bit about both of your backgrounds, how you got into retail, what brought you to Old Town, and we'll start there.
So I've been retail my whole life and started at Abercrombie & Fitch when I was 17 years old. And so when you work for a company like that, it becomes your life and you just live it, eat it, breathe it. And that's what started my passion. I've always had a passion for clothing, but I think that gave me such an amazing work ethic and to really just love retail. I mean, retail is a special thing.
It is.
And it's not for everybody. I mean, it is not for everybody. So I think that's when I realized that this is what my passion was. And so just, dabbling in a couple different jobs after that, all in retail, from buying to merchandising to sales. And then my oldest was born 12 years ago. And I started to see all of his beautiful clothing pile up that he was outgrowing rapidly. And so that's when the 529 idea popped into my head. And I thought 529 was a fun play on words, college savings plan. Yep. You can consign your children's clothing, shop at the store, save money, contribute to their college savings. So 529 was born 12 years ago, and it's been here in Old Town as a brick and mortar for 10 years, so I'm so proud of that. And then a couple years ago, Toni Henderson from Mint Condition decided to sell, and she kind of came to me first before it went on the market. And knowing that I love consignment and I love retail, I thought, this is amazing. I'm not giving up this opportunity, but I cannot do it alone. And I knew that this one, my sister-in-law, would be amazing at it as well. So the rest is history.
So great. And Katie, and you were, other than relations, do you have a background in retail, or what brought you to this as well?
Yes. Kind of like Megan, I grew up in retail. I dabbled in various different jobs, but Gap was kind of my first. So Gap, Old Navy, Banana Republic. I bounced around from all of them. And then in college, I worked for Louis Vuitton, and that's kind of where I got my luxury high-end. And that's what's so fun about owning Mint Condition, is that I get to use a lot of my luxury experiences in retail in consignment. So it's been great. But yeah, and then I worked at the Shoe Hive for 2 years. I was the director of operations there. So.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. And also, I know because being in the vintage barware business, that the this whole upscale resale market is something that is now on the rise again. And I think we were all ahead of our curve, I have to say, because I think that it's something that it's great for the economy, it's great for the environment, but not only that, they're beautiful, beautiful items. And I have to say, when I was strolling through here this morning, there were so many wonderful things that I thought, boy, that would make a great Christmas gift. Especially was eyeing your designer handbags. So please tell me a little bit about some of the items that you carry here in the store.
Well, I am wearing, talking about vintage, this is a upcycled vintage Chanel necklace that we sell really well here. We also have them on mask chains and cuffs. So this whole idea of like upcycling and vintage, it's fun. And a local woman makes them, so we're also supporting a local designer, and so that's always great. And then Katie can speak to the amazing handbag selection that we have.
Yes, we do. We have a constantly rotating supply of, gently used. We really try to keep things or accept things in mint condition. Mm-hmm. So our customers are always happy. But our designer handbags, they're pretty amazing. And you think, why is someone getting rid of this? But it's just a season of someone's life, right, and they no longer need it. And so another woman will come in and be like, oh my gosh, this is the perfect bag. Right. So it's just that constantly like, okay, that was a different life and I don't need it anymore, so let's give it a new home kind of thing.
Yeah, and as both of you know, I mean, good design is good design. It's timeless. So, but I also noticed you have some new products. I was eyeing your 22314 because I am a resident of 22314 products.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit how that came about.
Well, we just love our neighborhood, but we opened Mint Collective, which is all the retail, but we have all this great 22314 stuff, and it's been.
We laugh because at Mint Collective we sell tea towels, we sell tote bags, and we sell masks and mask chains. Like we have all these beautiful clothes, but people want our towels.
Oh, and don't forget the candles.
And they want our cups, and they want our candles. Our candles are made locally. These cups are so fun to have a cocktail in this holiday season.
Yes.
And these are
especially
made.
the hot cocoa that we just
yes,
saw.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And these are from local company Au Papier. They're based in Arlington. So that's awesome. We try to keep it as local as possible. Okay. So as I was saying earlier, we sell masks and mask chains like crazy. And we love them because they're locally made. The masks are by a local designer. And then the mask chains are by a local mom that also works in our store, and she's a dear friend of ours. And we just think like we're trying to make wearing masks fun for the holiday season. So we just love these beads.
So fun.
With the plaid. That,
And
you know,
I love
just
the coloring right
a
now.
little tribute to our Scottish heritage here in Old Town.
Oh my gosh, I need this.
So tell me a little bit about how did that store come into fruition?
Well, Megan wanted to just take something else on. All the other things
Not
that
enough
she
going
has
on,
going.
right?
I get bored easily.
And she's like, I think we should do this. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Well, here's what happened. We're in a pandemic. We're locked down, and we stayed open, safely. And I noticed a for rent sign next door, and it hasn't been like that for years. I mean, it's been leased, but it was empty. They rented the space, but then it came up for lease. And I inquired to my landlord. I said, do you know anything about this space? And he said, it's our space. I own it. I'm like,
Do you want it?
a light bulb goes off in my head because, of course, I've been sitting around for 2 months during quarantine, bored out of my mind, and that's when I have to start something new. And so the price was right, and we just decided. At first, we were going to do all designer over there, but then we decided let's just dabble in retail. Like we both have a background in it.
Then we thought men's, but we can't keep men's in stock. Men's consignment,
Right.
it flies out the door.
Yes.
So we just we still want men's, gently used designer items. But we wanted to do men's over there to give the men in our life, some love, but it just didn't work.
Yes,
So we're
my
like,
husband keeps cleaning out his closet and begging me to sell it. So we do sell men's upstairs now. So
Yes.
all of you men in town, come
we
find
have
us.
you covered.
Yes.
But yeah, the retail, and we wanted to keep it moderately priced. We didn't want to, have anything outrageous just because we already have mint condition and the designer stuff. We just wanted something fun and easy for people, and so that's what it's been.
So now, Megan, I know we've known each other for a long time, and we have to talk about Old Town Boutique District as well.
Yes.
And I know that's an organization that's been around for a long time. Amy Rutherford and Elizabeth Todd and Danielle Romanati, a bunch of the old timers, they started it, and you get the luxury of owning it and running with it right now. So tell us a little bit about that organization for those of you that don't know about it.
The Old Town Boutique District is near and dear to my heart. It is a marketing collective that was started by Elizabeth Todd, I think 12 years ago now. And we're just a group of, I would say 90% women-owned businesses, which is so amazing and so empowering, like every day to work with these women and just to have this common goal of promoting local and, supporting local. And we are partnering with the OTB a lot. Charlotte Hall and I talk on a daily basis. She is like my new best friend. And, we're helping with the events. We do a lot of local marketing and promoting of our businesses and a lot of cross-promoting and stuff like that. So we are going to bring ourselves deeper into the digital age in 2021. So stay tuned for that.
Wonderful, and it's also just great that we're a community. I mean, that's the one thing about Old Town is that we all kind of pitch in when needed, and we support each other, and it's just been wonderful talking with both of you. So thank you so much.
All right, hey friends, we're still here at Mint Condition, and so we're getting a good chance to sit down with our good friend here, Tom Ellington from Cirrus Vodka.
What's up,
Tom?
man?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, doing really well, dude. Thanks for making the time to come up and hang out with us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We're talking about Cirrus Vodka. Cirrus Vodka, for me, I've been using at both restaurants now for a while, but I don't know if everybody has had a chance to really get to know this brand. And for us in Old Town in Virginia, this is, a pretty local brand, local spirit for us. So, what can you tell us about Cirrus? Give us the breakdown, man.
Yeah. So Cirrus is a craft potato vodka.
Mm-hmm.
We have a warehouse in Richmond and Scott's Addition where we ship in russet potatoes that are shaved down in a dehydrated form so that they store well and don't go bad. We can keep them and our warehouse is not heated or cooled. So we cook those at really high temperatures close to boiling, and then that usually lasts 4 to 5 hours. We add an enzyme in there, and then it gets pushed to our fermentation tanks where it's there for 3 to 4 days, and we add a proprietary yeast that we've been using since the beginning. And conversion to alcohol starts, then the exciting part, we pump it through our wall. And most distilleries in Virginia, you'll see pot stills. We have a giant column distillation system that was built from scratch and designed specifically for Cirrus. I mean,
That's awesome.
it's based off other column distillation systems, but this one was put together. And from there, it's triple distilled. You've got the first 2 columns, which work together to remove the water and the potato matter, and that gets pumped underground into our spent mash tank and treated, and then put back into the water system.
Yeah.
And then the next column is, and these columns are working off boiling point. So you heat the bottom, cool the top, ethanol rises. Ethanol is what you want to drink. The second column is working to get rid of the isopropanol and the trace amounts of methanol. Hopefully there's not a lot in there.
Yeah.
And then the third column is the demethylizer. So that's the really important column that gets rid of any methanol byproduct alcohols in there. We have a chemical engineer from a VCU grad, so he's homegrown, local distiller, and really smart guy. And this is the fun part for him, is testing each batch in-house. And really this gas.
It's a fun part for a lot of people, is testing
testing
batches of vodka in-house.
Testing the product, we'll get to that, but before it can actually be consumed, at this point it's like 190 proof or but we have a gas chromatograph in-house which spits off, you drop a tiny sample in there and it spits off exactly how much methanol, isopropanol, whatever other byproduct alcohols are in there, and it just, a graph, which I couldn't comprehend, but he's got the training to look at that, and then if it needs to be redistilled or even disposed of, we have a really strict quality control standard, and after it's done, it comes out 190 proof. We cut it, and then we put it through a custom, kind of not proprietary, but we've created our own 8-step filtration process.
Okay.
Where we filter the ethanol 5 times with charcoal and particulate at a lower proof. So if you were doing it at a higher proof, which would save you time, it doesn't create the softness, the characteristics that Cirrus is known for. So we filter it at a lower proof, and then we filter the water that we mix it with also through charcoal. And people think that the base ingredient of a spirit is generally what plays into mostly how it tastes. And that is true, but the water is highly important. This is a 40% alcohol by volume, so 60% is water.
Water's always important
Always.
in spirits. People are always like, oh, I don't need any water. Water is one of the most important things. And let me just touch on something real quick, or just pump brakes real fast. What I love about being able to sit down with our spirit specialists, right, is level of knowledge, nerdiness. No offense, I'm a huge nerd, right? I'm like, tell me a little bit about Richmond's vodka, Cirrus Vodka. I think most people are like, oh, this is a vodka out of Richmond. We've been open for 5 years. And we went into like the many levels of distillation, the column stills, the water we're putting in. Phenomenal. The name is Cirrus, right? And that name, what does that name come from?
It comes from a high altitude cloud that generally is known for signifying fair weather.
Yeah.
Clear, open skies, sunny skies, or that the sun is coming out. Beautiful days for hanging out with friends outside or drinking a vodka drink. And we all know vodka is a very versatile spirit.
Oh, yeah, it is.
First time I met you, we kind of laughed about how it's sometimes hated on by the bartender community.
What?
Which, no. I said in my pre-interview notes, like, I love bourbon, I love tequila, love mezcal. I mean, love vodka. You can drink vodka with anything, and we'll get into that a little more later. But it's such a versatile spirit, and people like it.
No, people love it. People love their vodka for sure.
And it's fine if bartenders, and completely I understand that aged spirits show better in a cocktail and are sometimes more fun to play around with. But the fact is, vodka is still a massive spirit, and one that's well liked.
I ever noticed about Cirrus was that it was soft on the palate, it had really good mouthfeel to it, and it was really it's soft. It was refreshing. Yeah.
And that's one of the things I love about the cocktail world and culture these days, is it's a lot about the spirit, but it's also a lot about the ingredients going into cocktails. I mean, cocktail bars are becoming a lot like kitchens. You want to use fresh ingredients, fresh juice, and our vodka is very like you said, soft. I think that's the best word to describe it. It infuses really well. It's got a weight to it. You throw an herb or something fresh in there, give it 8 hours, and you're going to start to get some of the nuances of of whatever that thing it was that you were infusing it with. So
Totally.
I
No,
mean,
I found it does really well with infusions. And for me, I've used it in a vast amount of things. You can get it in a martini.
Yeah.
You can get it in a vodka soda. You can put it in a mixed drink. I put it in hot chocolates,
Yeah.
and I think it does exceedingly well in a boozy hot chocolate. And if you're not much of a mixologist at home, you can just do this into a hot cup of hot chocolate, and then you go. You got a cocktail ready for yourself already with Virginia's own Cirrus Vodka. How long have you worked with Cirrus Vodka, man, Tom? What's your experience been there?
one thing I love about Cirrus, and probably the reason I took the job, was I believed in the product and the process. And when I met with the group, they were looking to make a change. They were looking to bring on someone more full-time because it was a group of 8 investors that loved it and brought it out of bankruptcy because they liked it so much. They believed in it and thought that it could, be a business, be a long-standing brand. I knew that if we could continue making it and continue focusing on that quality, then I could help with growing the brand and the sales side. And I love, the creative marketing around building a brand.
Yeah.
And I think you got to be authentic, and you got to be have a strategy, and that really fell in my skill set. Before this, I was working at Coca-Cola and doing.
What is Coke? I've never heard of Coca-Cola. Tell me
so
about
yeah,
this company.
Big global brand, and
Yeah.
I actually covered Old Town, Alexandria, and all of Northern Virginia as my territory. So it was a big job, high stress, and but great training. So I really got a great basis for training there, and then jumped into something a little more entrepreneurial, ran with it, and since we've done a rebrand, we've doubled sales the past 2 years.
And that's what makes the brand grow, though, because it's the people behind it who are passionate and who sell it. That's how I get to hear about it oftentimes, and how we get it on the shelves and get to try it.
It's similar to your story, and I won't speak for you, but with People's Drug and King's Ransom, you've had to build those two concepts and really kind of be the brand at times, and it's lonely and it's hard, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah, you're a part of it. What's on this label is in you too, and that's you can tell when you meet with people from Cirrus as well. If I were to support your brand, if I were to try to purchase the spirits, now where would I be able to purchase it? And then let's talk a little bit about the distillery and what's going on there.
You can get it at any ABC store in Alexandria.
Yeah.
I think almost every store has it on the shelf.
Sure.
Especially the ones around Old Town. But even as you expand outside the city, it's in Alexandria, Arlington, a lot of the Northern Virginia cities. So as a vodka, Virginia-made vodka, we're the top-selling Virginia-made one, and it's saying something, but it's a market that's dominated. It's an industry that's dominated by big players that have a lot of marketing dollars, and that's great because a lot of those spirits are high quality. But
we're in Old Town. We like small business, and we like small companies as well. So of course, it's our choice as well. Now, as far as the distillery is, you guys are located in Richmond.
Right.
Do you guys ever do distillery tours? Do you
Absolutely.
ever do events?
Pre-COVID, we offered group tours every Saturday. You just reach out in advance. So. And the great thing about us is we're right next to Hardywood and right next to another smaller distillery called Virago. They do some cool smaller.
They do some cool stuff. And Hardywood, if you don't know, is a brewery.
Yeah, Hardywood's a brewery, one of the biggest craft breweries in the state. And so you can come and do all three and eat at some cool Scott's Edition restaurants.
Nice. Yeah, that's a really cool little area down there too. Tell me a little story about Old Town or something about it that you really enjoy yourself.
Well, I think just having worked here for 2 years and been in the area weekly, just driving into Old Town and seeing the old houses and the historic, it just has such a feel to it. It's a place that I just want to get out and walk around and explore and have something good to eat, have a good cocktail. And so I think...
And there's plenty of options for those. Plenty of options for those.
I think what you're doing, not even just specifically with your restaurants and bars, but trying to create this culture of food and beverage in Old Town is so cool because it already has so many elements that are amazing, and the more you add to that and the more you can bring people here, the better.
Yeah, well, awesome. Well, this is honestly it's been a fun day. We did cocktails over at Lighthorse. Tom and I went purse shopping over here at Mint Condition. There's a good community, man.
Yeah.
Good friends and good vodka. So that'll get us through the day. So
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers, man. Thanks.
Thank you for joining us for Old Town Cocktail Virtual Happy Hour.
We just wanted to say thank you to our friends Megan and Katie at Mint Condition for hosting us. Thanks to Chris for making us such a tasty cocktail, and our friends at Lighthorse as well. And thank you, Tom and Cirrus Vodka from Richmond, for talking vodka with us this month.
And we look forward to seeing you in January at our next Virtual Happy Hour.
Cheers, Old Town. Be well.